Is this it? Is that all I needed to do? It's that easy? Let's just make sure real quick. Hey, wow, it's just that easy. Can I hear myself? Hey, wow, it's just that easy. Okay, the delay's not bad either. I think I have the chat showing. Unfortunately, I'll never be able to really tell if there are no messages. Cool. I'm gonna hit up my time logging. Right, my phone is ready. So I'll go for about an hour and a half, I think is my goal here. Boom. It's just that easy. Wow. If I do this, I don't want to kill the phone battery too fast, but okay. All right. Okay. We're just vibing. My desk setup is pretty much optimized for art and drawing at this point. I technically have two desks, but this is my sketchbook of this year. Realize I should not write my email in my sketchbook anymore. If you're joining me on a recording, welcome. I've been trying to do a lot of gesture in general. I've been studying this book a little bit. I'm taking classes at the moment as well. And I do want to work on some homework this evening. Yeah, I don't have that much to say. I think last night I hit a particular, I don't want to say stride, but I think I gained some confidence that I was lacking. So that was nice. If I do study this book, I'm going to effectively sit here and read and draw from it. But I'm not going to show it as like a reference because I don't want to, that feels like I'm showing someone else's material for free, and I don't want to do that, but would recommend the book. I think I just need a better x-ray vision. I think last night what my quote-unquote breakthrough was just like being able to see through. And then I'm taking another sketching course, I'm auditing it. And I kind of like this mannequin style that was evolving. Attempted to draw an anime character. And then trying to work on my own character design. And then I just have a couple pages left in the sketchbook. Yeah, there's just nothing else. What I will do now is I'm gonna grab some. What I want to do is some brief leg studies, based on the system of the class I'm taking. And can I pin this somehow? I can. Perfect. Sign into chat. Am I not already signed in? Oh, if this has me do a frickin' passkey, oh my god. Just let me use my password. I don't understand the passkey system. How about we tap yes on my phone or tablet? At if it gives me the prompt. There we go. Hey, otashi desu. Security alert, security alert, security alert. So cool. Security alert, security alert, security alert. Delete all those. And go back to here. Beep, boop. Awesome. Alright. It's weird. I'm like not. I'm still alone, but I'm not alone. You know what I mean? Alright. I was recommended to use some markers as I do my figuring out of stuff. What I really do need to do is rewatch the demos. Obviously can't do that in streaming, but more importantly, I just need to sit down and do. So we're gonna do a page of pillows. A little annoying at the moment. Probably a little loud too. I'll put on some music. You're not gonna really hear the music. I don't want to get hit by copyright. Ultimately, I'm just gonna keep it in that. So, what's the leg image I want? I do like this. Was there something I wanted to? These can wait. These can wait. I think one thing I need to work on especially is that posing for people. If we start out with this pillowcase, the pillowcase is a 2D projection. This comes around. And then kind of just trying to warm up by remembering, I guess, all the bigger landmarks of something in particular. There's no real pose happening here. I think that's the problem. I didn't really think about this arm. Like, what is it doing? But if this one's raised, I think we can think of this line coming up. We're not going to end up seeing the deltoid, but we will see some more lat. And something. I don't like it. I'm abandoning it. It's not turning out well. Poses I really like is like just like kind of a mid backflip kind of thing. It does look bizarre, at least when I do it. I guess what's nice about kind of using this marker is that I can just constantly overcorrect. ropes. Keep the thumb on the right side. Try not to follow any particular system at the moment here. I guess ideally, if I go over it with pen, things end up pretty. I'm already overcorrecting, which is, it's whatever. But because I have to really think like what's on top here, right? The pec definitely comes up. We see a little bit of deltoid probably. We'll see lat. We'll see bicep, but it's stretched out, right? So the tricep might show up a little bit. Either way, this is gonna hit forearm. Some muscles come out here. Lower half of the arm. And I'm just gonna fan out the hands. This arm has taken up a separate position. Don't love it. I'm gonna try and see it through. This is just completely becoming a mess. Ugh. See, these are not supposed to be symmetrical. I think I can show a bit more pinch there if I try a bit harder. I don't think this is quite it. Oh well, it's kind of worth a shot. What's happening with his arm? But these are from imagination, so that's all right. Let's do one for a ref. Hello, OHK2204. That does confirm my stream is on. I forget I'm being perceived sometimes, but good to remember to just talk. All right. Tennis player, pillowcases. Okay, this one's dark. I think I like the warmer gray for underlay, and then I feel like this is good for maybe values. This pillowcase will be rotating. Yeah, I can turn the mic up. I'm on -9. Now I'm on -4. How we doing? I think I'm on this bad boy. I should be. Yeah. There we go. I can also just speak louder. Maybe that's part of the problem. I'm not good with shots from the back. What's our gesture here? It's kind of bam. There's a tennis ball in the middle of the shoulder. Okay, sweet. Thank you for pointing that out. I think what I like to do usually is if I'm recording something, I'll crank up the mic in the editor. Something traps communicate like this. Something. And this is again just trying to remember basic structure. Here is a female general structure. And this is going to work its way up here. Make the deltoid longer than you think. I will need to be making, I guess, adjustments as I go. Don't love what just happened there. What am I seeing? This is gonna go here. This is gonna work here. Remember, I think tricep is going there. I think this is the tendon. I say none of this with confidence, just so we're on the same page. This is the... It's like the brachialis with the forearm version of it. And then she got a tennis racket. There's no twist happening. Her torso is coming this way, and her upper body is going this way. And I feel like if I want to show that to the tennis skirt kind of in the way here a bit, but no, that's a beefy leg, dude. Kind of want to just default to the mannequin way, but I shouldn't. Something connective tissue, something here. How do I portray plane of the foot? That's fine. I think athletes in motion are very interesting to draw, and I wish I was actually half decent at it. Yeah, this adjustment was good. I just made the same mistake with this leg. I think this is what happens when you don't do the leg chapter yet. Yeah, her other arm is just not there. And that's just... I guess this leg should be more back here, and the reason it's not... They don't bleed, do they? Okay. I think this whole thing is meant to be rotated a bit more, but that's okay. That's too many lines, but all right. Now the daunting part. Hi, buddy. Oh, and as always, apologies for sniffles. These are my class notes, and what I will effectively be trying to draw again. Feedback notes. Tonight, just want to say the leg. I'll probably go back to the sketchbook in a bit. Okay, so what I need to do, first I'm going to copy this into my references. And I have leg references, but I don't. Let's do. If you look up Mobkins78 on Spotify, you will find my playlists, and I'm currently listening to the one that is all question marks. And that's a cat meowing. The door is open, my brother. Leg anatomy reference. Perfect. That's drawn. I do want a photo. Okay. This will be front view. I'm going to use these very loosely. This is a great back view. They're not the same. Oh, that's on the lower leg though. They're not all the same person, but I think for my intentions, that should be okay. And we got cat cam going. Just right away. Hi, buddy. That's a great question, and I am still working on finding the answer, honestly. I am currently, I would say my day job is software engineering, but my main creative endeavor at the moment is game development. I would call myself a storyteller. This is the most inconvenient. I don't know why cats do this, but like, he loves to sit back here, and that's fine. But like, come on. Anyway, okay, this is someone's entire leg. I'm still looking for the answer, but I think I have so many ideas in my head that I want to get out on paper, and the problem is I'm missing steps 1 through 95. So this studying is super helpful. Yeah, he definitely wants attention. Because it just it gives me concrete information so that I can ground my ideas in something. And I think drawing is just an extension, and this is kind of a new realization, but it's just an extension of ideating for me. Oh, okay, this is a good front side back. Oh, wait, there is no back. Wait, what? How is this? Oh, this is an inside leg. Interesting. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Sorry, I don't have a good answer to your question. Still figuring it out. It's a process. This is a cool arm model, but I can find it later. We ain't doing arms right now, boy. I'm going to save the reference anyway. I think creatures and people in motion and characters and elements of a story are like my main, like what I want to do. But I look at what I draw and I'm like, bleh. Which is not the reaction you want. Oh, these are cool references, and they have the muscle labels. Ugh. It's kind of cool because I'm taking these 2 classes, and one of them is like, wow, you're getting up there in 4K, buddy. One of them is like very figure drawing based, and so there's a lot of skeletal landmarks being shown. And oh my god, these are such good. Sorry, it's not fun having this all because there's nothing to see. I mean, this is all Pinterest, so in theory I could show this. I don't think I have anything incriminating on my computer. All right, so I'm just collecting these anatomical leg references and foot, of course. Bring this over with the cool arm. Front of the foot. Oh, look. Oh my god. I wish I had these a week ago. This connection puzzles me a lot. This is crazy. What do you like to draw? Are you drawing along OHK? Okay. 2204? These must be from some book or something. I mean, it's so easy to procrastinate by collecting references, but yeah, enough time spent on this. Just grab these last ones I cracked open. I mean, this is what websites like this are designed to do. They want to keep you on. Show you more ads. Oh, is this all in Russian? Wait. Oh, great. So helpful. Whatever. I'll still use it side by side. That's actually really funny. All right, we're gonna do drawing overhead because I need to pull up the demo notes that are not public. Man, these were such good diagrams too. Well, that's okay. I mean, they're still good, but unfortunate. Is this right? This looks right. Oh, because that's with the serratus. Does the pega touch? Okay, yeah. I thought I knew, like, had a decent grasp of anatomy, but it's just like I think I have a decent grasp of these creatures and everything in my head, but when you try to go draw them and you're like, I don't know anything. Studying nursing school and drawing when I feel that's awesome. Plus, I feel like nursing school is no joke too. So I'm trying to retrain myself so that drawing like is my break. You know, I'm taking these classes, and so it's like on one hand it's not, but on the other hand it is. But I think it's ultimately more fun to do this than just like watch a pointless amount of TV. So. Alrighty. So. My goal is to do 2 of these quote unquote studies this week. For the last time. I enjoy the abstract stuff too. I think honestly, for so long, I wonder if I have examples in here. I have a sketchbook full of them, but just like you just kind of draw and just see where you go with it. Can be so rewarding. Here's a good example of like when I was trying to draw from imagination. Character design page. I mean, this was like kind of an attempt at it, just drawing blobs and seeing what evolves from the page, but it feels more expressive than attempting to do this. Here goes the pain. Put you black. Are you ready for the last act? Take a stand. Can't take back. Alright, we start with the bottom of our old torso. Love you. When we take you down. She on her knees. Kissed your cry. I do need to rewatch these demos. My attention was not great the other day. So, from what I understand, we have a general gist of upper leg. That's gonna be too long. And then can take back. I guess. Okay, so the inner one. Interesting. The energy is gonna go out. This stuff's weird because I gotta like feel it to try and really make sense of it. So the reference and the demo notes I'm referencing are opposite. What good camera placement on my end. Because there's energy going. Right. So this is the more innermost. It's actually kind of nice having the mirror image because it really forces you to think about it. My God. And then we have. Whereas the calf on this side is a little more pronounced. And ankle goes downward and out. Being more slowing down a bit, being more intentional with the lines here. I think you've got, I think some of the glute, I want to say, but I don't know. There's this he was saying was the keyhole shape. It's a bit on the inside of the knee, though. And I mean, man, most of it's really on the outside, which makes sense. It's just crazy. Like knowing what information to convey, I think, is the main idea. I feel like this should go down here. Kind of like this, where you just kind of cut off the foot in some sense. Yeah, I don't hate that. This doesn't feel big enough. Curve goes in. Curve. I'm kind of sat here like, why not just draw the other side too? I like this general shape. I like. I like having this here curve in. I'm trying to combine like both of the classes, materials, and ways of thinking. Because then if you have here, this is our beefier section. The keyhole is definitely, yeah. So the center of, I don't want to sound like I know what I'm talking about, which I'm apparently very good at. Here. And then this goes down. What do I think portrays the right idea? I like this because this is necessary. I don't see any other way about it. Yeah, because you kind of need to represent the dip. Yeah, so these are too close to the kneecap. Or the knee, I should say. The patella. I'll do, this goes to the inside, so it should go here. I feel like, yeah. Something, the legs have their own rhythm. Something. I think the outside is. I'll make the inside bigger. I feel like that looks more convincing? Question mark. Cool. There you go. And that wasn't that bad. I need to like constantly remind myself, like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I might switch my chairs again at some point. Ugh. I haven't really moved in a few days, so. Well, relative to my normal movement schedule. I've done one fewer jiu-jitsu class this week. I feel like these are really far apart, actually. Yeah. Oh, actually, I like that. I don't love the fact it's a double line, but too far apart. Lol. Cool. So now we'll hit up the side. I need to not do so many lines. Did I not have another inside view? I guess I didn't. Okay. This is the outside view. Where my leg is at. Alright. I mean, ultimately, this is just someone else's diagram. But I personally think that's what I need at the moment. I don't know, is this the acetabellum? I don't know. Okay, so once again, I have the sketch demo I'm working off of is facing this way. My diagram is facing that way. So let's do the sketch demo first, sort of. I mean, I know we have, this is really coming out the top. I guess I see why this does what it does. This really comes in and shoots straight down like this. And then we got... Yeah, have a good night. Thanks for stopping out. Appreciate it. Frame perspective. Marcos Mestre. Wait, I have his book. Didn't he write the composition book I have? Where is it? Framed something, part 1. How is it not in my line of sight? Anyway, I didn't realize there was a perspective volume. Maybe it's a different person. Wait, hold on. It's called Framed. Okay, it's not this book. But I do... Is it just called Framed? Framed Ink. It is, yeah. Same person, I think, it looks like. Visual storytelling. Yeah. Very cool book. Appreciate the call out. Kind of nice to hear, like, oh, hey, this author worked for someone else, too. So this stops at the same level here. But also kind of doesn't. I don't know. This diagram is a little... We'll see what happens. Okay, so we got the kneecap, top of the keyhole right here. Shebang. And then this comes down and then back behind the kneecap. That makes sense. Makes sense with what I, not what I know, but what I understand about the human body, which feels littler and littler by the day. This is, I guess, the clump of hammies. And I do remember here Peter was saying, like, the natural curve of the leg follows this S here. And I've heard this before, but I don't love how this is turning out. Again, too many lines. This is, I think, the IT band. Anyway. You got the calf. I guess he's... okay. Kind of separating off the calf, but then still letting it bleed into the bottom. Which I guess makes sense. Oh, I went... Oopsie. I think it's too wide. Not really happy with this one. Because the sketch has this here. This is too short. Yeah, then I'll just try the other side. No big deal. Whatever. Yeah, I think this is too wide. Other side. I can't believe these references are in Russian. So funny. This time we're going this way. I like starting with the glute. Coming down. And you just... This is like the same swoop, but not as extreme. Just trying to make this a little, not like as thick, but I feel like, I suppose the butt does kind of stick out. The kneecap here. I think I'm just fixing this in hindsight now. Again, this is even lower. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this ankle's a better height, I think. And then this communication doesn't make sense to me. I think this is a bit too... I think I just need to pay more attention to the demo. Like at the end of the day, that's the reality of it. Okay, anyway. Already tired, bro. It's not even 9 o'clock. Okay. Evening stream, cinnamon bun. Ugh. I'd say it's been a while, but that's on me. Yeah, the mornings are game development now. I've been kind of working my way back into working on my own things again. And I decided 3 weeks ago that I would stream every Sunday evening. And I finally did it. Alright, I need a rear leg anatomy reference. It has indeed, it has indeed. Once again, this is on the opposite side of the demo I have, but that's okay. We'll work with that. I just finished up a game called Type Skier. You can check it out at dangerwhite.itch.io/typeskier. That's the one I finished. That was my first game of 2026, and I'm working on a game now called Teas of the Kingdom. That's right, Teas of the Kingdom. And one of the goals is to draw all the assets in it. Which take me forever. I need to make a devlog for Type Skier. But yeah, it's been good. I've just been doing an hour every morning, trying to build up from there, but just like I just really stressed myself out with creating everything being like a requirement. Okay, so I think this is supposed to be this like lima bean shape is reverse on female. So this is a male. It is exciting stuff. It just feels good to create again. And I don't know if I've really created for years. It's just my tendency to like just turn it all into results, which school and the corporate world does to you. I really gotta relaunch these demos because that was so bad. This needs to be. Whoops, dude. Whoops. Yeah, I don't like it. I just started with that. He's the gluteus maximus. The gluteus medius over here. I haven't done my legs chapter yet. Maybe that'll help me when I get to it. But all right, yeah, we got the bicep of the femur, and what is this? Semitendinosus. I forget, and I think it's so easy to forget that the hamstrings aren't actually like a muscle. It's just a group of muscles. Yeah, time and energy without just like killing yourself over it, honestly. Because I mean, in some way, it's like to truly have a craft is to give your life to something. And like, I just with these art classes for like last week, I was so stressed, just unbelievably stressed. And that's because I kept just thinking about what I had to do. And here I am, just like, oh, I'm going to draw for an hour and a half. And I'm like, cool, I'm working on the homework. It's Sunday, it's due Thursday, and I'm taking the week off to just like effectively ride the wave. Just get rid of some of the work stress. I don't remember what this was. Oh, because brother, you have a reference right here. Yeah, the calf has medial and lateral sides. Lateral, yes. I think of medial and lateral as like the port and starboard of the human body. I really enjoy my anatomy class in high school for the most part. It's kind of cool that it's like kind of coming back to me in the sense that like I know everything. Like I could draw a half a decent guess of where things go, but knowing a little more in depth, but also, but also knowing what to communicate is really important because you don't need all the information. So I'm taking this class. I'm doing gestures after this. I'm getting what I need out of this study, and that's great, but God, the human body is crazy. I mean, I feel like there should be more. It's worth more information here. Like, man, when you look at this thing and how it's fucking engineered, I'm like, damn. Who put this together? This is the Sartorius? No, this is the IT. No, what the fuck is this? It's the glue, but it's just the part that... Oh, this is the IT band. Wait, hold on. What is the IT band? I think it's the IT band, which is the tendon, but it connects the glute to the bone. Iliotibial band. Yes, it is the IT band. And it is the tendon. Yeah. Perfect. That's the moment where I'm like, my anatomy class kind of helps. High school anatomy class. Okay, it's better to draw the muscles in like two groups like this. And then you have space here. I think there's a good cluster of stuff here because there's a lot that happens. And then this kind of goes out and more in. And this just kind of hangs out. I struggle with following through the avenues of interest I want to explore. How do you do it? Define following through. I'll leave that as an open-ended question, and then I can specify my question more. But because I have an immediate answer, but I'm curious if you can elaborate on your question so I can give you a hopefully better answer. I guess this demo is meant to... I think what I like is like just trying this on my own and then knowing what I need to go back and pay attention to whenever you watch this thing. Okay, rear. So notes, rewatch. I struggle with pushing myself to learn deeply about things I want to know and learn about. Gotcha. The first... I struggle... So first of all, I struggle with the same thing. And I chalk my biggest difficulty up to focus. Both because focus is hard, but also I have so many things that I'm trying to actively fight that are vying for my attention. So this homework and stuff is such a good example because it's like oh my God, I have to do these leg studies, then I have to do this amount of pose studies, then I have to do, and I get like a couple just go like a last week, I just got so stressed and it just knocked me out. And so my approach to that was just like, just start. And this week, I've got these different goals. I'm going to write, I'm going to draw, and I'm going to maybe do some game dev. I kind of don't want to stay away from coding because I want to make sure I can come back to work fresh. But the goal for me is, and I'll come around to your question, I promise, taking such a results oriented measurement. So by Thursday, I need to do X, Y, and Z. In my week off, I need to do X, Y, and Z. But this is a vacation / a week off specifically because the only measurable metric I'm operating by is time. My goal is, if I were to not be a software engineer, like how would I want to spend my day? It's not watching TV. Like that's just not a break to me. And playing games all day, that's not a break to me. Because I don't look back on my day and love that. If you do, that's great. There's no judgment. So in the sense of, it's so difficult to actually do that. Like an interest in drawing is great, and I'm taking these classes and it's great, but all of a sudden you run out of steam or you're like, oh, this is so cool. And then you're sitting there, you're like, man, I want to learn about this, but I just, like, as you're kind of saying, it's like, I just can't push myself to do it. So because of where I am right now, my answer to your question, and again, it's very biased because my perspective is so stewed in my own issues, is to remove yourself of all, I need to learn X, Y, and Z, or I need to reach a certain level, and just put half an hour in. Like the Type Skier game got done in an hour a day over the course of about 40 days. I was said like just a prototype in a sense. And like the last 10, 15 days, I did have to push myself with discipline a little bit because I was like, game is getting kind of boring, but I need to see it through. So I knew what my end goal was, and I'm lucky because I didn't have a deadline for it. And I think that when there are things that we want to know and learn about that are avenues of interest, in other words, it's not school, it's not work, so there's no external pressure around it, we have the ability to take a step back and say, I don't need to know all this today. Like, I don't need to know all this tomorrow. I don't need to know all this by the end of the year. That's what I think is so bad about New Year's resolutions is I could go off on that, but figure out what you want to know and just putting time in and just seeing what happens with it. Like the only place I think you should really push yourself is to get the ball rolling and to start. Could be 15 minutes, half an hour, an hour. Like when I did Japanese, I think I did this and I didn't even realize, but I said, okay, I'm going to do like this much studying every day for 3 months. And then I'm going to take this test. And then I'm going to decide whether I want to keep going with it or not. So it's kind of a long-winded rant, but don't push yourself to check off the boxes of like, what do I need to know this thing? And just like, if it's an interest, just spend time and just see where it takes you in some sense. Like right now, I should probably do more of the homework, but I kind of want to do some more gestures. And in my case, literally any line I put down on the page is going to be worth the time spent because I'm not good at drawing. But there's a balance too of play and discipline where like things can be fun. Right now, art actually has no play for me, which is a struggle. But programming is a good example where it's like the game is fun and I need to push myself to do this because I've just been in so much pain not making a game for the last 10 years. I'm just going off on a tangent at this point, but I've found it so nice to just remove myself from I have to know X, Y, and Z, and I have to be able to do A, B, C. And just being like, that's my North Star. I'm going to walk in that direction for a little while. I think the beauty in that is like, we don't live forever, but we're not in a rush either. So follow the interest, and if it really dies down, it dies down. But I don't know. I don't know if that was helpful at all. There's no solid answer. But at the moment, yeah. Admittedly, I think most of my... Because I guess what I'm now hung up on is like, you said, how do you do it? And I'm like, do I do it? Haven't studied Japanese in a while. I'm, all over the place. Admittedly, I think sometimes the torture becomes worse than the non-torture. Like, the torture of... I don't know. This isn't even torture anymore, which is kind of cool. If I sit there and I think about all the homework I have to do for these classes, I get so stressed. And then I don't end up doing it, even though I know I need to and I want to. But if I can just sit down and just do it for a little bit and be like, hey, I don't... Like, no one's got a gun to my head. And ultimately, it's just like, the thing that gets me every morning, like the worst mornings, I'm just like, I'm going to be so pissed at myself if I don't do it this morning. If I don't do this game dev this morning. And then that's unfortunately true. So not that it's a necessarily healthy way to go about it, but yeah, the pain of not doing it sucks. I'll leave it at that. I don't know. I'm honestly a big fan of also hearing perspectives like that, so let's see. All right, I found these 2 cool references that I'm going to paste because I also need to learn. During the arms week for this homework, I kind of avoided hands. But that was also the week I was really stressed, so I'm not fully blaming myself. But these are such cool poses, dude. I think also moments where I can sit down and be like, oh, I wish I could draw this or draw this person. It's these moments of like frustration almost where I'm like, I need to be able to do this, man. Those get me to sit down sometimes. Sometimes frustration gets me to sit down like that. And then the time takes care of the rest in some sense. But yeah. There is no speed limit. But that doesn't mean you have to drive 60 miles. You just have to drive for an hour. That's my metaphor. Yeah. I personally have a mixed opinion on, like, never put yourself down, but also it's okay to be critical of yourself. But it is a fine line. It is a very fine line. What am I looking for? I'm looking for poses to draw. Do I like this? No. Not really. This is cool. This is a really cool painting. I'm really hoping it's not AI. It doesn't look like it. Usually I can tell with the clothing, ideally, and the hair, but some of that musculature doesn't look good. I'm just saying. Who knows? Okay, I've had this tab open for a little while. Even now I'm like, ugh. But I have a timer going on my phone for an hour and a half. And I can't necessarily just like do something else right now. These are the hardest points for me where I finish one thing and I need to stick with it. Because especially now I'm like, I am literally just alone in my room. Well, I got a cat, but 2 cats. There is nothing stopping me from just getting up and going to lie down, even though it's 9 p.m. or watch TV or something, which I'll do after this. But it's another half hour, and I'm just literally just like, I like this. I want to be good at this. Like, this was fun. This was my warm up for the stream, so to speak. And this is growing on me. I can't lie. These are from imagination, but anyway. It's like even if I don't finish, like, because there's like, I don't really know why I'm still talking about this, but okay, I have a half hour. I'm gonna do one more sketch of this person. That alone just makes me go ugh. Like blech. But if I'm just like half an hour more sketching, if I finish this person, great. If I don't, it's okay. I started. I can pick it up later. I don't have to continue it either. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay. Like subjectively, it's just that cool. Yeah, they're both. One of them is in a box on the printer. One of them's right here. I don't want to bother them too much. Oh, this is from Pinterest, so I can show this. I cannot lie. I am like, okay, this is my reference. If you're someone watching the recording, one person left a comment, and now I just pretend everyone needs this. But this is the reference. It's from Pinterest. Looking up athletes from different sports. So like I have one of someone doing rings, and just mid shot is just so sick. The class I'm taking, this dynamic figure class and the sketching course on figure drawing, I think it's just part of me is like feeling the motion, and I love it. Anyway, my music stopped. Let's instrumental melody Sunday. Perfect. Thanks, Spotify. Okay. So I'm gonna do a roughly small kind of gesture of this up here. I think 5 or 6 months ago, I would have talked about prioritization. But honestly, just do everything. You may burn, but I did so many different things, and I'm so glad I did. Because I mean, you don't have to stick to one thing. And like, I'm so lucky I'm in this career that like lets me explore all this. Like I have the freedom to do all this, and I try not to take that for granted. But all of a sudden I'm like honed in on just a couple things now, and that whew, just not feeling like being okay with just not studying Japanese is incredible. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to spend my time doing jiu-jitsu competitions, drawing classes, and my job, and some game development. I'm working towards a story. My body is like being taken care of. I need to eat better and do my mobility on time. Dude, she's so fucking cool. All right. I think something that gets me is also comparing where I am with others. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard it, but comparison is the thief of joy. It's difficult. I think for me, I somehow managed to get rid of that a while ago, but it evolved. And take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but if you can not kill that, but use it to your advantage, do that. Because I think I am not a competitive person, and that has led me to my own existential debates with myself, in the sense that like I don't necessarily compare myself with others' skills objectively, but I did move to finding myself comparing myself to like how much time people were putting in, or oh my God, this person like has a passion. That's crazy. I wish I had that. Um, Hold on, let me try to see the pillowcase here. But I think, and I'm trying to pick my words carefully, but I kind of created this sense of comparing myself to who I will be or who I can be. And this is a mixed bag. If you're willing to try this, I think this takes the same feeling of comparison and puts it elsewhere. But I think one thing that it did for me was show me potential that I didn't see before. And the thing is, I think everyone has such a high potential, but we live in a world that attempts to rob us of it. My fight is, with social media. And if I'm being too detailed here, I don't. One of the things that I see, so to speak, is this notion of like, who am I in the future? And the thing is, this is where it gets a little like, don't listen to me, but I see myself in the future as who I actually am, and who I am right now is not that person. In other words, I'm not trying to become someone else. I'm not trying to become a better artist. I'm not trying to. Am I trying to foreshorten this? No, I'm not. Something's wrong. I'm trying to. The real me already is a good artist. So I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. Not as fast as I can, but what's it like? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. But like as smoothly as I can, I'm trying to get there. And so I've kind of, you can listen to me again if you want, turned the comparison of where others are, and I'm like, I could be there. I know that there's a version of me that's out there. And I, most days at this point, force myself to close my eyes and go, hey, would the real Mark be doing this right now? It's like, no, it wouldn't. And that's what actually got me to start the game dev stuff early. It was supposed to be a New Year's resolution where I would do an hour every morning. And then a few days early, I was like visualizing myself in a situation. And that version of me was up and working on a game. And I was like, hell, I'm just going to start this tomorrow morning, December 20 something. That was cool. And so, I don't know, in some way it's like you will never be anyone else. I hate to break it to you, but that's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. If you are everyone else, that would suck. You are you. And that is a good thing to be for you. No offense. I don't want to be you. I don't want to be anyone but me. As painful as my existence may feel sometimes. But, if all of a sudden, if you can compare, if you can create, and this is like where it's like, this might just be a me thing, not just a me thing, but it's like if I can create such a clear image of myself so that I don't feel like I am, and I'm not me right now. I created a cognitive dissonance within myself, which is why this is dangerous. Also, this leg is off. And I do mean it when I say dangerous, because you don't want to. You don't want to go in the wrong direction. Like you can't. Oh, this version of me doesn't exist. He's never gonna exist. I can't think that. Like that's the dark side of that coin, right? So I don't know. That's just how I'm starting to That's how I got out of my rut this last time, at least. I liked everybody. Don't love what's happening with the lower body here. What just... Oh, my phone is 20%. I've got 12 minutes left. So... But hey, also, the struggle is like so much exploration. You are the art. It's really sad that AI is just robbing people of their individuality amongst everything else. It's just that's the part that really bums me out. I get that corporations just want results and people to do things, but it does sadden me. Oh, but AI can make the driver. AI can write my book, guys. Well, then you're more obsessed with the book than you are the act of writing it. Like, you didn't write it at that point. Not to talk about AI too much, but what's going on here? What's going on here? Something happens right here. There's a pinch here that I'm not showing. And I don't know how to. Also, this leg should be that. There, that's a little better. Not quite, but a little better. We're doing heads next week, dude. I'm scared. Glad I finished my 100 head challenge, but scared. Plus, in the drawing classes I'm in, everyone's so much better than me. Oh. It's like I know not to compare myself, but I'm like, oh. It still gets me. I'm like, oh. Yeah. That's what counts. Like, that's the most important thing is you are on your own journey. That's why I'm sometimes hesitant to talk about nihilism, because it's like sometimes you got to realize that nothing matters, and then you got to learn what matters to you, and then create that delusion, and then believe in it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is try and draw the skeleton-ish. And this is where I think I failed, right? I think this is good. Here's our. Yeah, this is where it is. This is so confusing. I think this needs to be rotated more, and I don't quite. Yeah, get that. I think the kneecap is like down here because there's a lot of connective tissue, and that goes down, And then we got yield clavicle, shoulder girdle. It's good to know to remember the clavicle always like raises up. Okay, so that's the skeleton. My own layer system here, blue is just like light underlay. I didn't go light here. I keep going too heavy. Red is mannequin or skeleton, and then I do green for the clothing. Honestly, I should do like blue for the clothing and green for the underlay, because the green is so much. It's just a much lighter value. It's kind of cool. This pen is such a value range for just one pen, but. And I actually know what that means, believe it or not. The thing is, though, it does get so messy with all the different like lines. So on one hand, I'm like, I don't like this. Ow. I forget my pinky's still injured. I think it's got to be more like this. Because it's the bottom of her hand being shown. Whoops. Yeah, something. Lips are by far the hardest thing for me to draw. It's just a cool shot in general. How much time I got left on this timer? And then there's moments like this where I'm like, ugh, just let it be done. Yes, I know you're low battery. Relax. 9.5 minutes. How low battery are we talking? 18%, you'll make it. You'll make it. Plus, what's nice with the timer, too, is like, all right, how can I wind down? Could I have done more if I wasn't streaming? Probably. Could I have done more if I locked in and disciplined myself to stick to a schedule? Absolutely. But will I have done this at all if I told myself I was going to need to do that? Not really. So I don't know. I'm just constantly reminding myself, like, oh right, this is my survival is not dependent on this thing. Like my obviously for work and stuff like that, stress needs to exist. But hi, new here, I like to draw. People, honestly, I'm enjoying drawing people. I'm taking classes around figure and just people doing sports, like this reference on screen. Yes, I want to remove the JPEG, but not quit OBS. Okay. My goal to draw is stories. Trash can's not open. So this is some character design attempts from just this morning for the game I'm working on. And then I think I had a character design attempt earlier. Because I have so many ideas in my head that I want to get out. And drawing is an extension of the ideation process. But whenever I draw stuff, I don't like how it looks. This is more of the character design. I'm glad you look forward to the streams. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad I streamed tonight. Again, it's like the third or fourth Sunday where I was like, but in the reality, it's just press the button and you go. The stream should be public after it ends. If it's, I don't know. Yeah, that should be the default. Yeah, I like to just talk out of my butt of all the things I think about. Just like fractured thinking, but live. I think, like, this result I don't like. But the thing is, it feels good because I felt directed in it. Like, I'm so bad at gestures. But the mannequins here felt good because I felt like I had a sense of where I was going. And, like, ultimately, that's what's important, right? Because it just sucks to feel lost. Let's draw some cubes. And boxes and space, you know what I mean? Just make sure I still got it. Uh-oh. They're not really going to occupy the same space, but that's okay. Oh yeah, I'm honestly, like, sharing this kind of stuff is also just like a big motivator for me, I think, in general. I love, like, now that I'm actually filling them, the sketchbooks. It's so nice. I'm taking a digital painting workshop right now, and that might be the most anxiety-inducing thing I've actually done in a very long time. Which is not what you want from art. Like, the teacher's goated. She's super cool. And I have learned, like, the amount of information that I have gotten in just the 3 out of the 4 workshops so far just blows my mind. But digital, first of all, digital is different. It's the first time I'm using Procreate in an old iPad. So that's one thing. And then painting. I really enjoyed that watercolor class I took. And that was like a great example of what I was saying earlier about how, like, I was just put the time in. Like, just see what happens. You don't have to make good paintings here. But oh my God, I just made myself so stressed out about it. It's crazy. And like, it was just fully my own doing. But like, the paintings weren't taking that long, and I the last one I enjoyed, I didn't finish it. I don't know. I submitted it early, but like, sitting there getting their critique on it, I just felt so anxious. It was insane. Everyone else in the class is so good, and it wasn't that I was comparing myself with them, but I absolutely felt like I shouldn't have been there. Like, it was marked as a beginner to intermediate class. But you know how they have, like, ice cream stores, there's like small, medium, large scoop, and then you can like order a baby kitty scoop. I'm a kitty scoop in digital painting. And I was in the small scoop to medium scoop class. So that was kind of nuts, honestly. One more. I'm trying to make that last painting like a cover art for my game. Because I've learned so much in this workshop. Oh man, doing the work is so important. But, oh boy. I wanted to do so much more. And what's crazy is, like, I have all this time. Like, my job is my job. And, but I don't have to commute. I work remote. I have lunch break, right? And after my jiu-jitsu class in the evening, like, I have time. And being able to look at drawing as a relaxing activity, so important, man. It's so important. Holy crap. Because then it's like, it's either after class I get back and I'm like, one more thing to do before I go to bed. But no, actually. It's something you get to do before bed. And it's like my lifelong goal of turning art into a replacement for TV. And honestly, I think streaming is like... Streaming doesn't take effort for me, in the sense of just like, I'm just talking out of my ass. I think so much that it's not a problem. But I mean, there are definitely been times when I start streaming and then I'm like, oof, this is demotivating. Like tonight, I think even if no one showed up, I'd be fine. But every Sunday evening, minimum. I think I put on my calendar streaming every night because there is something about streaming that just makes me like surprised you can. Honestly, I'm surprised I can talk and chat. Make gaming videos when you're in middle school and talk while you play a game, and I swear to God, you can talk while you do anything. Also, I'm just like, admittedly, one thing that's kind of cool now is like some of this drawing, like these cubes I'm drawing right now, I don't have to think about it that much, which is kind of nice. But like when I was doing the leg studies earlier, I was definitely like not that talkative because I was like, what's this muscle called again? And so it does require a bit more focus when the thing is more demanding, but it was also a very helpful skill when interviewing because the interviewer is like, so tell me why you're writing this circular buffer. And you're like, well, and you're starting to talk about the algorithm and then you're just also typing at the same time. And it's just a useful skill. So shout out gaming videos when I was in middle school and high school. Cubes in space are so fun. This was another thing that was like really challenging for me because I can draw, killer cube, no problem. Watch me botch this. Like you draw a killer cube, no problem at this point. Long way to go. But them in space was so like creating this illusion of space just took me a long time to really grasp. I think I have half decent spatial reasoning, so I could like see whenever I went wrong. But like these cubes are all over the cube. They're not cubes. These boxes are all over the place. And yet there feels like there's some sense of cohesion to them, which is surprising. At least I think. Like these ones, they look like they're going that way. But just rounding out my 90 minutes of evening drawing with cubes. Like this one. This one just completely ruins it. Because all of a sudden it's like, where is this? Let's see if I can patch that up. What I'll do is I'll draw a cube in the background. Sorry, bollocks. And that sort of brings harmony to it. Not quite, but there was an attempt. Thank you. What do you draw, William? Are you a digital person based on your sketchbook comment, or are you a sketcher, or just vibing? I feel bad when I don't use like a whole sketchbook page, but sketchbooks are meant to be drawn in. The only bad sketchbook is an empty one. We out here drawing hella boxes tonight, gang. Can I do this? Is this gonna break it? You do gotta be careful though, because you will make mistakes like this. Yeah, like this, there's nothing here. What I was saying about how I did so good over here unconsciously, tried to be conscious about it and just completely butchered it. That's funny. All right. Man, the torso is so fascinating. I haven't looked at it in a minute, but hey, buddy. I have another anatomy book somewhere. There it is. Procreate. I'm trying to remember stuff. Felt. The classes I'm taking like aren't like deep anatomy classes, but like we still have to. It's all about like what to show from the anatomy to convey the right idea, and whew, it's a lot of information. I've been watching. I haven't watched the most recent episode, but I have read the light novels. But Sentenced to Be a Hero, because you mentioned anime, and it's giving me the same feelings that I had when I watched 86, which is my favorite anime. Of both, this story has substance, and being able to tell my story is all the stories in my head is what I want to do, but the animation of it blown me away. And so for this class that I'm doing figures for, not this one, I don't think I have any of those figures in this. Like these-ish kind of figures of like what muscle groups do we show without having to be so specific. We have to do a final project. I want to do an animation. I think just like a traditional animation. Like I haven't actually thought about this. I'm literally just trying to use up the rest of this hour, and even though it's not productive in terms of what I need to accomplish, I'm okay with that. But yeah, like if cause reticle. I was using this to trace some manga, but oh, is this vellum? I don't know. But anyway, what I think I should do is take... Oh, yeah. Hey, here we go. Oh, is this going to be revealing? Do I have my email in here? Sometimes I put my email in my sketchbooks in case I lose it. Oh. Hey, well, you know, I traced the My Hero Vigilantes. See, I didn't have any idea of torso, of what was going on. I don't know what this was trace of, but again, no idea what's happening. I wonder... I forgot I had this. What am I trying to do here? Because if I can... I remember seeing this like clip of Miyazaki, and he was like flipping through paper, and it was traditionally animating. So I guess if I were to start... You have to start back to front, right? But that would imply your animation goes backwards. Wait. Yeah, because what I'm thinking of is I can draw a person jumping, right? Or just a ball. But the thing is, if I do this, I want to be able to see it here. But what I would have to do is here, here. Oh, that's the same piece of... Nice. Right, so here, here. I guess, actually, maybe this could work, because this is... Wait, this is a weird realization. Hold on. 2... And I mean, I'm coming in with the animation basics here. Right, so that's there. Am I animating right now? Am I really animating a ball? This is what's cool about drawing sometimes. Is you're just like, oh my god. Oh god, this sound. Yeah. I mean, all animation is crazy. I remember when I was... Oh, this is like nails on a chalkboard. Okay, 2 more frames, buddy. 2 more frames, you can do it. I got into 3D animation when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, this is so, like, not easy, but you have a model and you move it around and you do keyframes. Okay, cool. But when I learned that 2D animators had to draw every frame, and then not only that, but color in every frame, oh. And then you look at, like, anime studios and the stuff they go through. Whew. Okay, how do I do this? How do you... Oh my god, wait, I can go backwards. Whoa. Hold on a second. I'm having my mind blown by myself. Wait, what am I trying to do? I don't want to go this way, I don't think. I think I want to go this way, right? Can I do this for our final project? But then at that point, I would have to be like this. That would be so cool. I can't lie. That would be so cool. But the thing you need to be able to do, digital animation calls it onion skinning, or because I did animation in high school a little bit, but I never redrew a frame. I was just scaling things and finding PNGs and just changing them that way, which is making my current game project even more difficult because I'm like, I don't want to spend. It's just a prototype. Like, what's the minimal amount of animation I can get away with? I guess. Hold on a second. Wait, because what I just did was the first frame was the ball on the here. This smudge really messed things up. Rest in peace. So if I were to draw a figure, oh my god, I think I could do that. That's an insane idea. The class is not restricted by medium, but I A, prefer working in digital, in traditional, but B, my goal is visual communication and sketching and getting my ideas out, and I just feel like this would be fun. Oh my god. I'm having another moment where I'm like, okay, before I do that, I need to finish this book, and then I need to finish the other book, and then I need to finish this course. I'm already like, Mark, like, if you try to do that, you're going to blow up again. This got me thinking, though. Yeah, looking at the... okay, I got to be careful if I share my screen with references here in my personal calendar. I think, what was it? It was this bit, I think it was from a documentary, but it was that like infamous, or I guess not infamous, but famous. It might have been something like this scene where he's just like flipping through someone's paper and he's like, "Good job," and the guy's like, "Oh my god, thank you." Yeah, it's like this traditional. Oh man. Whew. To be able to just love your craft so much, though, like that's what I ultimately want. Okay, this battery's dying. I think I might wrap up the stream here. Yeah, and my time's up. So Cinnamon, just to answer your earlier inquiry, sort of. So it was Sunday today. Not answer it, but continue the thought I had earlier. This is my timeline. My forest timeline. You can use anything. But I can look back now and say I spent an hour on my game development this morning. And I spent 3 hours total drawing today, logged. And that was it. I mean, it's only 9:40. Should have written today. Should have gotten more done for the art classes. At the end of the day, like, there's really no excuse for that. But I'm going to try to hold it against myself and just try to hit more time tomorrow. That's what the week off is for. Is just embrace time as the only true metric. To look back and be like, did I spend time on what I wanted to spend time on? Yeah, turning this, is it? I guess it is vellum. This trace paper into an animation would be sick. Am I organized? To a fault. One can plan a lot and then not do anything and not make good on any of those plans. I'm coming out of a period of burnout, mostly just like professional life burnout, but it affected everything. But we're coming back from it slowly. I've just hit a point where I was like, not doing the things I want to do is more painful than just getting my ass down and doing them. Okay, anyway, hopefully I'll be back for more next week, and keep an eye out in the evenings. I don't think I'm going to stream my game development anytime soon. I might though, because I just like put all my thoughts into Discord, mostly for a devlog when I come back for it. I was supposed to film the devlog today too. God. Whoops. Now I have to like look at my Todoist and that's not. There's still plenty of instruments and weakness. Music is my weak point. 100%. It's gonna be the hardest part of games. I can try this Saturday. I will give myself a free check for this though. I have a piano here. I played the piano for a while. Every once in a blue moon I'll sit down and play, but yeah, I think moving in a direction is the important part. I need to forget about moving at a certain speed. Thanks for stopping by, William. Appreciate it. Like 3 people tuned in tonight. It's just cool. It's like, yes. I can pretend I don't exist in a vacuum. Anyway, have a good night. Stream should be live as soon as it processes or whatever. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Peace. You will not be able to reconnect. Your stream will stop and you will no longer be live. And it just says no and yes. Do I say yes?